where do we start? This is obviously why I'm making this video. This is a ugly stick Tiger. I used to use these a lot offshore. I still have several of them. We're going to go through them here in a minute, but there's a reason why we're going to talk about these. Obviously, I use a lot of Temple Fork Outfitters, also TFO. This has just been some of the ones we've broken in the last few weeks. Technically, I've broken 3. I don't know what the butt to the other one lost, but I broke 1 conventional, 1 spinning, and I also broke a Mag H. But that's expected to break rods. But one of the guys on my boat asked me, what's a good cheap setup for snapper fishing? And obviously this is a great rod. Obviously it's broken, but when I say a great rod, what I'm talking about is this is extremely lightweight. This is a lot heavier. Does that mean it's the end of the world? They both catch fish. This is $229. This is $69. This can be replaced, I think, for $90 or something like that. This one you just have to rebuy another one. Yeah, it comes with a 7-year warranty, but I've never tried to warranty these. I don't even know if it costs more money to ship them back or how their warranty works. I've had a lot of these warranted, and they'll send you a new one. As long as you send them the serial number and the information, they'll replace it with a shipping cost and a replacement fee. So what I like to do is wait till I have several broken ones to make the shipping worthwhile. If you fish as long as I have and you have careless, well, I'm not going to use the word careless because that's not fair, but I broke one, so I'm careless too. But things will happen that rods will break, fish run, they lock up on them, they high stick them, whatever the case may be, rods break. So I'm more going to worry about trying to set up a cheap snapper rod for you and tell you the pros and cons of why I think a Shakespeare ugly stick, this is called a Tiger. They make a Tiger Elite and they make a Big Water. I recommend the ugly stick Tiger Elite or the Big Water. The Tiger Elite is $79.99 and the regular Big Waters are $69. 7-footers is what I like. Medium, 20 to 40 pound, I believe it's what they are, something to that effect. I'll have the information in more detail in a slide or two from here. Alright, so there's a reason why these ugly sticks are here in front of me and why they're hooked up to rods. When you break rods that are for customers, and I try to keep my customers on nice lightweight quality rods, give them all the advantage they can on the sensitivity, the lightweight. They can enjoy fishing a lot longer throughout the day without getting as tired. But like I said, these are workhorses right here. I know some people say these are extremely tough and durable. They are. What are the flaws on an ugly stick? There ain't too many flaws, other than they're not very attractive to the eye. At least to me they're not. These are some older models right here that had actually inserted guides. This is one of the newer models. This is obviously on a conventional. It has complete just stainless steel, or I don't know what material this is, guides, but they don't have any inserts. So you don't really have to worry about the insert popping. So of course, I replaced some of these just to take them out of retirement until the new rods came in. And here's another example of the guide, the leader and swivel and everything went through the guide and broke the eye out. This is pretty common with these rods. I'll send this guy or eye to be repaired because one, I need it back. There's even another one missing here that I removed, so that's already 2 that got busted out. But I'll have to have that one repaired so I can continue to use this rod, because ultimately the rod is good, but this component, these eyes that have the ceramic eyes, aren't the greatest. So luckily the new, I'm sure Ugly Stick knows that, and that's why they've gone to that other system, and you don't have to worry about the ceramic guys popping out. So I have never had a problem with this model right here with the solid eyes. I'm going to reach over here This is another series. This is an ugly stick right here too. And these guides are amazing. This is another big water. This is a lot better color combination also, but they don't make this anymore. This is their older color series, but they were using better components on these. So this one's called the Ugly Stick Big Water by Shakespeare, but this is for a conventional reel. I don't think I need to explain the difference between conventional and spinning, but just to make sure, conventional is basically all smaller eyes, and it goes on a conventional reel, which is something like this. This is a conventional reel. This is a spinning reel. This video is about putting together a cheap snapper rod. You can't go wrong. $69 ugly stick rod. Now the question is, what reel am I going to put on this? I am going to recommend the Daiwa BG. I know some people will say, well, I like Penn and I like Shimano. I've used them all. This is a Penn that's on here actually. This is a Penn Conflict or a Penn Battle. This is a Conflict, but I've used the battles. I've used the Battle 1, the Battle 2s, the Battle 3s, the Conflict 1, the Conflict 2. I've used Stratix, and they're all good if you take care of them, and they're all going to break eventually or get a little wear and tear in them. This one had to be taken out of retirement because we dropped a Daiwa overboard and I needed a replacement. So, you know, sometimes reels and rods don't break. They get dropped overboard, and when I say we, that was me. I did that, 100% my fault. Shit happens, and I did that sober. But if you want to buy a Penn, knock yourself out. I'm just trying to put together a cheap combo for you. So I'm going to bring out the the Daiwa BG, and this is the reel I'm talking about. This is I think it's 129, 132. I'm going to post it right here, and a diagram of the reel. This is a 5000. This is on a Temple Fork Outfitter, but I want you to pair this with this rod. With a, let's start that again. Okay, I want you to pair this on this rod, and I believe the whole entire combo is going to be like $250 when we include the Go Mix knob. So this Penn right here has a real nice knob. The Daiwa BG doesn't really come with a nice knob, but even when you buy the knob, it's almost cheaper than this one. And I'm a real big fan of this Go Mix's knob. I'll also recommend 40-pound braid. This reel, I believe, I can't see, but I'll have it posted. I think it accepts 500 yards of 40 or 50-pound braid. So I would recommend getting a spool of 500 yards of 40 pounds, and that should spool you up pretty much perfect. You'll have a little left over, but you know, that would be perfect setup. 40-pound braid, maybe 50. They recommend as high as up to 65, but for snappers, I don't think you need to go so heavy. Try to keep the sensitivity as light as possible, so I recommend 40. Almost everything I have is on 40-pound braid, and usually the rod breaks before the braid does, so unless you get cut off by a shark. So back to the power knob. This is a Go Mix's power knob, and I'll put up the price of it right here. They have them in different sizes, so when you order one, make sure you order one for the 4500/5000. They fit both reels. This is a very stout, heavy-duty reel, and I really like this reel. Now, do I want to spend a little bit more money? Sure, I do spend a little bit more money, but I'm trying to make a comparable cheap combo for you all. If you want to, you can always step up and say, I'm going to spend a little bit more money and get a Saltus Daiwa. This reel is going to be a little bit more expensive, but basically they're all going to catch the same amount of fish. You're not going to catch any more fish with this reel than you are on this reel. They're basically almost the same thing. You know, I have 4 guys on the boat, everybody's kind of using a different reel, and everybody catches about the same amount of fish. Whether you're on a more expensive combo, a not so expensive combo, or the cheapest combo on a Shakespeare, they're all going to catch fish. Just how long can you stand to do it, and how much money do you really want to spend on your combos. So remember, this video isn't for me, it's for you on putting a combo together at a price point that you think is reasonable for yourself. How much do I want to spend on it is the question you need to ask yourself. Now, do I want to go any cheaper than this? I definitely recommend do not go any cheaper than this. If you go to the Shakespeare website, they'll try to sell you reels also. There might be 1 or 2 thrown around here. I don't even know where they're at. I don't care. They're not very good reels. They make a cheap rod that's very durable, but the reel can't be cheap. The reel has to be half-assed good so it feels smooth on your hand and the drag system works good. So when you do get a good fish that's taking drag out, he doesn't break you off because your drag system sucks. You want a reel that can handle it and that can bring the fish in a efficient way without killing you too when you're trying to bring them up. So this is a quick short video on a combo. I highly recommend the Daiwa BG. I'm not sponsored by Daiwa. I'm just that's the reel I've been using for the last few years. I think if the one I post the example. Alright, I had a little technical difficulty, not the end of the world. I was just talking about a cheap reel. Don't go cheap on the reel. You can kind of get away with a cheaper rod offshore. Now, of course, conversely, I always say don't use a cheap rod inshore, and you can use a cheaper rod inshore. The fish we're dealing with inshore are trout, flounder, and redfish, and they're not going to destroy your reels. I mean, some of the reels I use inshore are as cheap as 60 bucks all the way to 250. Now, offshore, you're dealing with a lot stronger fish. It's going to take a lot of drag. So a more expensive reel is going to have a better drag system, is all I'm trying to say. So don't really cheapen the reel too much, but you can afford to cheapen the rod because you just want something heavy duty to winch up the reels. And that's why we'll go back to this Shakespeare for 69 bucks, the Shakespeare Ugly Stick Big Water or Tiger Series. I recommend it 100%. And don't get me wrong, if you want to buy a more expensive rod, the Temple Fork Outfitters TFOs are a great rod, $229, and I love these. These are extremely lightweight, very sensitive, but you are paying a premium price for a lot more quality rod. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about putting together a cheap snapper combo. So I'm going to put it together on the pen here in a minute. Correction, on the Daiwa BG, just so you can look at it and see what it looks like finished. I'm hoping this will be the thumbnail for this video. So this is kind of what I'm trying to convince you to buy as a cheap snapper rod. I'm going to go over it one more time. This is a 7-foot Shakespeare Tiger Ugly Stick. It is in the brown color. Obviously, this is an older model. The new models come with complete guides that are all one system. They do not have any ceramic inserts. And I have this paired with a Daiwa BG 5000 40-pound braid. I like the yellow braid. Kind of helps match the rod and the reel. Almost everything kind of looks half-assed matchy. Like I said, I'm not a real big fan of this color, but technically this color don't look too bad with this Daiwa BG. If you want to upgrade your knob for I think $35 more, you get the Gomex's power knob, and the Gomex's power knob really works great. The rod itself doesn't have a real long butt, so you don't have to have it way out there. It's kind of short right here. Keeps you in the fighting right there, or if you want to move your hand forward to really winch up the rod to bring up the fish fast, you can do that. I ideally like to just hold it there. It's a comfortable rod, and it's a comfortable reel. This whole entire combo is around 250 bucks, depending on how much money you spend on your braid, and you can get it cheaper if you don't want to buy the power knob. So thanks for watching, and I hope I can help you out with this. If you have any questions, put them in the link. and we'll try to answer your questions. And good luck. And like I said, this is just a snapper combo. Thank you.